Hello paper crafters. I am here with another layout and I'm trying to make sure I have this where I don't have any of my paper cut off. So let me see if I can get this. All right, I think that's good. All right, sorry about that. So what I do when I'm doing a layout is I pick my pictures. So this one happens to be my daughter's 3rd birthday. Her birthday was a horse theme. So of course I'm gonna do a birthday horse theme. So I found some die cuts on Kadoodle Bug Design that I wanted to use. So I I bought them, I put them into Design Space, and I created the layout how I wanted it. Okay, so I put the pictures where I wanted them to be, and then I put the paper pieces where I wanted them to be, and then I even created where I wanted my background paper to be. But I don't choose the paper, and maybe this is odd, I don't know, until after I've got everything cut out and put together. And then I pull out 1 or 2, 3 paper pads that I think might work, and I go from there. So this one, I only got all my paper from one paper pad. It is Birthday Wishes by Pebbles, and I just scrolled through and I going through, and I'm like, oh, I like this paper, and I pull it out, and oh, I like this one. Okay, I need a top border, so then I pull out one of that. So pretty much how I do it. And if it comes from the same paper pad, you know your papers are all going to coordinate. So let's get these all cut out appropriately first. So the first thing I have here is I picked out 2 papers for my background sheet, and these both say happy birthday, and the colors go amazingly with the SVG files that I picked out. So I stuck with these first. Then I had put in Design Space some papers on top. So this is what I've decided to use as my top border and my bottom border. So let's cut these out into, excuse me, 2-inch strips. So then I just go through here, and I'm just gonna cut these out. I'm gonna do this end only because this one's got a little bit of a rough edging on it. Okay, so there's 2 inches, 2 inches, and I need 2 more. All right, put this extra one aside. So now I've got my 4 2-inch by 12-inch strips. Then what I did was I went through my pictures, and I wrote down here the sizes that I cut them down to, and then what sizes I want to cut my paper out at. So my 2 of my pictures are 4 by 4s. Is that correct? Yeah, 4 by 4s. So I want this paper, because it's going to be right underneath the picture, cut at 4.5 by 4.5. So let's cut these out. Here's the first one. And there's the second one. And then I'll just get rid of this paper over here for right now. Then the 3rd picture I want cut at 4.5 by 6.5. So let's see. Cut this here to 6.5, and now I've got a strip that I can use down the road if I want to. And then this one we're going to cut at 4.5. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. All right. And now I'm done with that paper. Next, I'm going to bring in this one. Now this, as you guys can tell, it's like a calendar day planner. I don't know why it's in a birthday pack, but it is. I'm never going to use it for a birthday paper. So I'm going to use this as background. So this is going to sit right on top like this and just giving me a little bit of division here. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so as you can tell, this will just sit right on top of here, just like that. Next, I want 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So we'll do 6 3/4 first, and 4 3/4. Okay, so now I have all my photo mats cut out. So let's go ahead and just adhere these while we are working on them. There we go. And sometimes I'll even go back in and trim those down even smaller if I feel like it's showing too much. All right, so those are my photo mats. They're all done and out of the way. And now I'm going to bring in my papers. And I'm going to actually trim these down on top, just so they're 11.5. So I don't cut down any of those 2-inch papers. Okay, so let's cut this one here. So 11.5. and 11.5, and then I will cut the edges, the sides, after I glue down my strips. Okay, so first we're going to put this one down. And I want to make sure that my paper is right side up. All right, and then we'll do the next page. I know this is a little different than my normal scrapbook process layouts, but I know a lot of people get very confused. Like, how do I pick pictures? How do you go about choosing, do your layout? I just want to kind of show you how you can do this without much thought. I mean, this is just pretty basic, rectangles and squares. Can't go wrong. And picking paper from the same pad, like I said, they should almost always coordinate with each other. Okay, now I have these scallops that I'm going to put down right here. And I cut 4 of them out, but I'm not going to use these on the bottom, I don't think. I think that's just too much. So I think I'm just going to use 2 of them on top. And this is cut at 11.5 by half an inch. Okay. I'm going to bring in this one and do the same thing. And I'm just buttoning it up right to the edge. Okay, and originally in my design I did put the edging underneath the paper, but I don't know why I didn't do it that way when I was putting it down. Okay, so let's bring in this straight edge again, and now we're going to cut this down to 11.5. So now it's going to be a true 11.5 by 11.5. And then I'm going to bring in some blue, which I guess I should have done this before I started filming. Let's see. This was kind of a spur of the moment decision to film. I'm trying to figure out if I want to go like a bright blue underneath here or a more muted blue. The reason I'm struggling is because I did this in gray, and I don't know if I want it to blend in that much. So you know what? It's a fun birthday. Let's just go for this bright blue. Okay, so peel these apart. And I'm going to trim these down to 12 by 12. So you can tell when I do my scrapbooking, I'm usually all over the place at first. By the time I bring it to film, hopefully I'm a little bit more organized. But this is what it looks like when I normally do a layout. So for everybody who thinks that scrapbookers who film have it all together, no, we just organize before we go on camera 9 times out of 10. Okay. So now I have my 2 base pages done. Now I can start working on the rest of this. And let me arrange my camera so you can see both of these at the same time. So let me stand up here. I'm going to raise my tripod up a little bit. There. Okay, so now I have this photo mat here. It's going to go down there. This one is going to go right over here, and this one right down here. And then for my paper piecings, this is, like I said, from Kadoodle Bug Design, and this unicorn is cut at 8.5 inches tall, and she is going to go right here. This is from Create a Critter 2, and it's going to go right over here. So I think I have to put this down a little bit more. And the 3 was not part of Create a Critter 2, it was just something I just typed out. Okay, so that is how the left side is going to go. So let me go ahead and adhere this for you. And I have to say, I really liked paper piecing Kadoodle Bug Designs. Super, super simple. So if you are a beginner scrapbooker trying to bring SVG files over to your Cricut or your Silhouette, Miss Kate Cuttables is extremely easy. But I actually have to say Kadoodle Bug Design is even easier from my experience of these 3 paper piecings that I did last night. Okay, then I have my little horse coming out of a present, and it's going to go right here. And then I have a secret. These are actually unicorns, but I didn't want unicorns because, like I said, her theme was horse. So I cut off all the horns on all of these SVGs. So I just want to show you how it is. It comes on this base card here, and then you just put all your paper pieces on top. So I'm just going to come right in here and cut off this horn. And then I thought that this cupcake on the back of his mane was cheesy, so I'm cutting that off too. So now we have ourselves a birthday horse. All right, so I'm gonna go right here. Let's go ahead and get these adhered. Okay. Oh, let me show you. This one is cut at 6 inches tall. And this one with the cupcake is cut at 6.5. And all three of these files were not from the same, like, you know, some of these designers have groups, have them all, no, these are all different. But they were only $1 each because she's having a sale right now. So I don't know if the sale will still be on by the time this video comes up. But I bought a bunch of SVG files from her, a bunch more Christmas ones, so you should be expecting to see those in the near future. All right, so here we have a 3-year-old's 2-page scrapbook layout. Have a good day. All right, bye-bye.